All right, let's talk about one of the most well-known medications out there, Cialis. Today, we're going to cut right through all the marketing and just get to the essential facts you need to know.
You see it everywhere, right? It's one of the most prescribed drugs of its kind on the planet. But with all that noise, it can be really tough to separate fact from fiction. So, what is the real story here? Let's find out together.
Okay, so let's start at square one. The absolute basics. What exactly is this stuff, and what is it officially approved to do?
So here's the first thing to know. Cialis is actually just the brand name. The active drug itself is called Tadalafil. It belongs to a whole family of drugs known as PDE5 inhibitors. Now, the FDA has given it the green light for two main reasons: treating erectile dysfunction, ED, and also helping with the symptoms of an enlarged prostate, which is called BPH.
Let's do a quick pros and cons, a little snapshot. The biggest pro, the one everyone talks about, is how long it lasts. It can be effective for up to 36 hours. That's why some people call it the weekend pill. Plus, you can take a low dose every day, which allows for a lot more spontaneity. On the other side of the coin, you absolutely need a prescription. And yeah, it can cause some side effects, like headaches or muscle aches.
That 36-hour window is pretty impressive, no doubt, but how does it actually work? Like, what's happening inside your body? Let's get into the science of it, but don't worry, I promise to keep it simple.
It really boils down to a three-step process. First, and this is so important, you have to be aroused first. The pill doesn't create that feeling. So once you're stimulated, step 2 kicks in. Cialis blocks an enzyme called PDE5. By blocking it, it helps boost a natural chemical your body makes called nitric oxide. And third, the result of all that chemistry is that the blood vessels down there relax and open up, allowing more blood to flow in, which is what makes an erection possible.
And that brings us to probably the single biggest myth about these kinds of medications. Cialis does not, I repeat, does not magically create an erection or crank up your sex drive. All it does is help your body's own natural process work a little bit better after you're already aroused. Stimulation is still the key that starts the engine.
One of the really unique things about Cialis is how flexible it is. You're not just locked into one way of taking it. There are actually two very different approaches. You can use it daily, or you can take it just when you need it.
Here's how those two options break down. You could take a really low daily dose, like 2.5 or 5 milligrams. This keeps a small, steady amount of the medicine in your system, so you're basically ready anytime. The other way is the on-demand option, a bigger dose, 10 or 20 milligrams, that you take only when you think you might be sexually active. Which one's better? It really just depends on your lifestyle and how often you need it.
But it's not just about popping a pill and hoping for the best. To really get the most out of it, there are a few things to keep in mind. If you're taking it on demand, you want to give it at least 30 minutes to kick in. But beyond that, your whole lifestyle plays a part. Things like managing your stress levels, eating well, getting some exercise, and not going overboard with alcohol, all of that can make a huge difference in how well it works for you.
Okay, let's switch gears and talk about something that is incredibly important: safety. Like with any prescription medicine, you've got to be aware of the potential side effects and what not to mix it with. This is the reality check.
So here are the side effects you hear about most often. We're talking about things like headaches, getting a bit flushed, some indigestion, maybe a stuffy nose, and for some people, back pain or muscle aches. Now, the good news is that for most people, these are pretty minor, and they tend to go away as the medicine wears off.
Okay, listen up, because this right here is the single most critical safety warning. If you take any medications that contain nitrates, and these are often prescribed for chest pain or a heart condition called angina, you absolutely cannot take Cialis. The combination can make your blood pressure drop to a dangerously low level. It's a huge risk. And there are a couple of other things you'll want to avoid. First, heavy drinking, which can kind of work against the medication and increase side effects. And the other one is a little weird: grapefruit juice. Believe it or not, it can actually make the levels of Cialis in your blood go up, which might sound good, but it also increases your risk of side effects.
So, Cialis is a big name, but it's not the only player in the game. How does it really stack up against the other options out there? Let's put them head to head so you can see the whole landscape.
All right, let's break this down. You've got brand name Cialis with its 36-hour window and flexible dosing, but yeah, it's expensive. Then you've got its main rival, Viagra, which only lasts about 4 hours. But look at that last row. That's the real story. Generic Tadalafil gives you the exact same 36-hour effectiveness and the same dosing options as Cialis, but for a whole lot less money. Honestly, for a lot of people, that's a complete game changer.
If you remember just one number from this entire conversation, make it this one: 36.
That 36-hour window of effectiveness, that's what really makes Cialis and its generic version stand out from the crowd.
So, after all that, is Cialis the right choice for you? Well, that's a question I can't answer. The whole point of this was to give you the clear, straightforward information you need to feel more confident. Your personal health, any other medicines you take, your lifestyle, it's all part of the picture. And that is the exact conversation you should be having with your doctor to make a choice that's both smart and safe for you.